Welcome back, guys. In this lecture we are going to see how to install Playwright and get started. Basically, in this complete lecture what we are going to do is we create a small program and we try to run it. Okay, so that is the goal of this particular lecture. So for this one, for a Playwright to run at least a sample program, we need couple of installation. One is you need to have any OS, that is you could be having a Mac or Windows or Linux based systems, and over that one we have to install Python, and after that we need to install Playwright. Okay, so these are the two tools we need, Python and Playwright. Okay, so in case if you are a very new to Python, so what we do is you can install the Python either using the downloaders or using the homebrew. Okay, pre-install Python. So here I am using Mac OS, so I'll be using a downloader rather than going with the command line. Okay, so now you can choose Python 3 version or Python 2 version. Okay, so if you are a beginner, consider that this all the complete course is going to be for a beginner to advanced. Okay, it will cover every single detail. Okay, now you could have a doubt that what's the difference between Python 3 and Python 2. Okay, so anything that is released with the Python 2 dot, everything will be considered as a Python 2, and anything that is having more than 3, okay, Python 3.1 or 3.0, 3.2 or anything, okay, anything after 3 is considered as a Python 3. The major upgrade is that they have removed basically the depreciated few functions in Python 3 and they have added few more functions in Python 3. Okay, so whatever you have written in Python 2 will not be supported as it is in Python 3. Okay, so in case if you want to convert the code, you need to add a little more code here and there and do the adjustments to work in the Python 3. But it will be like 80% of the Python 2 will work in Python 3. Only the 20% makeup you need to do it. But if you are starting with Python, then choose Python 3. Okay, Python 2 also will work, Python 3 also will work, but preferring the latest one is the better option. Okay, so here I am going to use Python 3.10.7. okay, so there is already a 3.1.4, but rather than that one we will go with the 3.10.7. okay, because this is kind of a stable release. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. And look for the downloads. Here you can see installer. Okay, so you can click it. So the Python is getting downloaded. So it depends on your internet speed. Okay. So why you should use Python rather than Java or .NET with Playwright? One of the simple reason that I give you is Python is open source and lot of people, lot of community supports this. Not just lot of community, there are a lot of tools. Okay, for Java and all, every time you need to import this jar files and then work on it. The similar way in Python you can just pip install any package. Just you imagine some package, that kind of thing will be present in Python. That is one of the reason people prefer Python, because a lot of community support and the package supports. Okay, now we have downloaded the Python, so now I'm going to install it. Okay, so it is just any standard installation box only, wizards. Okay, so click on continue. So it's asking me to agree for the licenses, otherwise also we have to agree, otherwise they will not allow it to install. Okay, so again continue. In case if you want to install in a specific location, then you can change the location, but I do not need any specific location, so I'm going to install, and it will ask you for the credentials. Then you can give the credentials. Okay, now it started installing. Okay, now Python 3 is installed. Here you can see that version that got installed. Okay, now you can close it, but before that always try to see the get info of this particular folder opened. Okay, I wanted to see like where this particular thing is present. Okay, that is the only thing. So these are the details. Open with comments, more info. Okay, so now everything is there in place. So now let's see whether we have installed Python or not. Okay, let me close this folder. So it's just gonna 3.10.7 is installed successfully, and we can find it. Okay, close it. Okay, now it is asking me to move that file to bin, basically the DMG we have installed, right? So in Mac, what it does is, like, once we install, it will try to delete that particular installation file. Okay, we don't need it because we already installed it, so I'm moving it to bin. Okay, now you can open command prompt. Okay, and you can check it from here whether you have Python or not. Okay, that is simple. Just type Python. Python is not there. What about Python 3? Python 3 is there. We have installed Python 3. So it depends on what we set it with the path. Okay, so let me exit. Okay, so Python is installed now. So now what you need to do is, sometimes you want to check where the location of the Python is installed. So for that time you can use where is Python. Here we have to look for Python 3. So this is where the Python 3 is installed. Okay, fine. Now we have installed Python 3, and I guess that's all. Okay, now we have to install Playwright, right? Now what we can do is, you can install it in the environment, or you can install directly in the pip. Okay, pip install Playwright. So this is the command to install Playwright. Okay, you can look into official document as well. Let's go to official document and installation. It says that install pip install pytest-playwright, but we will not be installing a pytest-playwright, but we will be just installing pip playwright. Okay, sorry, pip install playwright. So this is the command, and press enter. There is no pip, so we need to install the pip as well. Okay, sometimes it works with pip3. Yeah, Python 3 and the pip3 is got installed. So pip3 install playwright. It is working. So now we are installing the Playwright, all the Python related packages. Okay, now if we start running our programs, okay, it will not run because we have installed Playwright, but there are additional tools that we need to install it with Playwright. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do is, we are going to type another command, which is Playwright install. So this will install Chromium and WebKit and Edge. Basically this is nothing but different browsers. Okay, so as of now, no browser has been installed. Okay, now we are installing browsers for this particular Playwright. Okay, so now it is installing Chromium. Yeah, it's taking a bit of time. So consider Chromium as the vanilla version of Chrome. I mean, like, no additional things have done. It's basically like the skeleton of Chrome. Okay, it's almost there. It may take time depending on your internet speed. Okay, so now it's downloading the Firefox. Chromium is done, Firefox is done. Next is WebKit. That is nothing but your Safari. Okay, so this WebKit not only supports in this Mac, it can also be installed in your Windows and Unix OSs as well. Okay, WebKit is nothing but Safari browser engine. Okay, let's install. Okay, now everything got installed. Okay, so now we have to run the program, but before that thing, I want to run a specific command so that we know that we are running right. Okay, so everything is done. Now we can create a file, Python file, and then we can run it. Right, let's see. Copy this file and we can create another one, but other than that one, what I would say is we can go with the command line tools. Okay, command line tools is nothing but just basic things you can do it with this thing. Okay, just enter, you are getting all the help. Okay, basically it is installed. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to open a particular page. Okay, for that what I can do is I can open a particular URL, or I can open particular code gen tools. Okay, so for example, so now we know that Playwright is installed. Let's create one file so that we know that our Playwright is working fine. Okay, so let me copy the basic code. I'm using the code from here itself so that it will be easier. Okay, just for installation checking purpose. After that we will not be using this thing. Okay, you can take any of the code editor. Just you can use text edit as of now. Then we will check on what you call PyCharm. Okay, so let's install PyCharm as well before we start working on it. Okay, PyCharm, you can go to JetBrains website. Basically you can download the community version. Okay, professional version is as of now not required, so depending on your OS you can choose it. If you are on a Mac, you can download it from here. If you are in if you are in Mac Windows, you can download it from here. In case if you are Mac professional, download it from here. In case community, you can download it from here, but depending on your chipset, you have to choose it. For Intel chips, you have to choose this one, M1 and M2 and above. You have to choose Apple Silicon. Okay, so now it got started downloading. It is somewhere about 500 MB. So why we need this PyCharm? Okay, that is one of the questions that we have. So you can write every code in the text editors, but the problem is text editors will not have the suggesting capabilities. So what we need is like integrated development kits. Okay, so integrated development kits and environments. Here whatever you write, it will give you the suggestions and it will keep tracking of what file is there and where it is there, because you might be using one of the function or method in one place, and you want to see like how many places this particular method is used. So it is not possible with respect to text editors, but it is not possible with IDEs. IDEs, for example, you can run it with PyCharm, or you can go with Eclipse or Spider and Enthought Canopy. There are so many tools that you can use. Okay, so just click on the download file and drag and drop it to application. It will be installed in a moment. Okay, now it is done. Now I have to pick PyCharm. Yeah, PyCharm got downloaded. Let me close this thing. Okay, open it. Open. Okay, don't send it. Okay, so once the PyCharm is opened, go as the new project, and you can choose Python project. Okay, so it is better to have a virtual environment, so you can choose new virtual environment. Basically what this virtual environment does is, whatever you install, it will be limited to that particular space, so that you can create one more space with the different versions of Python or browsers. Okay, so it will be helpful in compatibility testing with the different versions. Okay, you can download the inherit the global sites. Okay, but as of now it's not required, so I'm going to create it. Python project name, let's say Playwright tutorial. Okay, tester god as well. My website name also I included. Okay, okay, now maximize it. By default you have got one main.py, which is nothing but it will have a simple hi. So just to see everything is working fine, right click on it or context click on it and then run main. You will see hi Python, whatever is they have given here as the name. Okay, whatever we pass it here. Okay, so this is working fine. So now what we need is we need to run a simple Playwright code. Okay, so here let's copy it and paste it here, and you just need to import them. Yeah, one more thing that we need to do is we need to install the Playwright. So sometime back we have installed the Playwright in the global level. Okay, but here inside this virtual environment, okay, we have not installed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install pip3 install Playwright. Okay, now it started installing, and now we have to Playwright install it so that we get all the browsers and the stuff. Okay, so everything is now fine. Let's see. Here you can see the indexing. Now the errors are gone. Now just simply right click and run it. Okay, run main. You should be able to see a Chromium browser opening now. Okay, now it got opened and you got the inspector as well because we have configured in such a way. Okay, fine. If I remove this pass, it will just open the new page, and in case if you want to go to a particular page, for example, let's say page dot go to let's go to Google, or we have it here, right? Let's go to Playwright website. It's okay, and here we can run it, but most probably you will not see, it will be like quite fast. Okay, so now it's gone. Okay, so now it worked fine. Okay, so basically now we have installed the Python and the Playwright. Okay, now we have created a sample test which runs fine. Okay, so ignore about this thing, what the content is and all. Okay, that we will be discussing from the next section onwards. Okay, so that is all with this video. Thank you guys, and I hope you will visit the next lecture as well.